guys. Good morning. I am here to do Coffee with Home Love with the fantastic Ashley Van Meter. He is one of our preferred lenders, and we are going to talk about home renovation loans. And Ashley's going to kind of walk us through what that process looks like, what all you're going to need, what you can use it for, and all of that. So, Ashley?
Well, good morning. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. We were talking a little bit about topics, right? And there's a bunch of different stuff to talk about this time of year, whether it's the importance of getting in before the end of the year, or the importance of making sure that you're pre-approved and ready to go. Because I will tell you, it has been continues to be a pretty robust market.
It really is.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing, we're seeing a ton of buyers in the market.
Hmm.
And what's interesting is if the trend continues in terms of the buyers, and then people start taking their homes off the market, things are fixing to get a little bit more competitive, right? Yeah, we hope that doesn't happen. We hope that we're
No.
communicating, hey, there's lots of buyers in the market. Leave your house on the market in a season where, some people, let's just say inventory becomes slow, a little less, right?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
talking about, hey, leave that home on the market because we're seeing a lot of buyers looking,
Oh,
right?
good. That's great information. Yes, we are.
But one of the critical things that we were talking about the other day was, renovation loans. And some of you guys know, but maybe some of the people listening don't know, is,
Mhm.
we have several different ways to renovate, or to do renovations on a home. All
Right.
of them don't include a renovation loan. Okay.
Okay.
So what I wanted to kind of walk through and share with you guys and answer any questions that come in is, what the renovation process looks like.
Mhm.
Okay. And really kind of you used a good word, kind of demystify what the
Yes.
renovation loan is.
Yes.
Because believe me, it's not rocket science. It's just a few other steps that need to be taken, to
Hmm.
be able to really do some awesome things to some houses, right?
Yes.
So a quick background on why this is kind of near and dear to my heart is, we've had a lot of flooding, back in May and here recently, especially in the Kingwood area, right?
Yes. Yes.
And if people didn't buy flood insurance after Harvey, and they didn't buy it after we flooded in May, hopefully they'll listen now. Because, like I mentioned, I am the poster child for someone who floods who did not have home insurance or flood insurance.
Hmm.
It's about the worst thing ever, right? So think about taking your house and giving away anywhere from fifty to $100,000 in equity, which is what exactly could happen if you don't have flood insurance,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So it makes me one of the dumbest people on the planet that I didn't have flood insurance.
Right.
Okay. So first thing is if you're not familiar with flood insurance, definitely talk to your insurance agent and get it
Yeah.
purchased now. The majority of the folks that we're going to be talking to are not in a flood zone, and it's about $480 a year.
The
All
best
right.
$480.
You will ever spend. If I came and told you, hey, I'm going to take $480,000 to make sure you didn't give away $100,000 in equity, most people
Oh,
would have.
right.
So
Right.
what I will say, so for a lot of those people that did not have flood insurance, a renovation loan, or even an escrow holdback is actually a really, really great product. And
Okay.
the great thing is we can use them for people that want to buy a house, and we can use the exact same product for people that to want to renovate a house.
Okay.
All right. And just some real basics, right, is
Mhm.
for a primary residence purchase or refinance.
Okay.
Okay. So
Hmm.
we can go up to a 95% loan to value.
Okay.
Okay. And a lot of
Okay.
people don't realize that we can build that much money, that much in. So, and that
Right.
includes rolling in all of your closing costs if it's a refi,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
So if all the numbers work, there's a very real chance that we could create money to renovate your house, and you
Hmm.
might bring nothing to closing.
That's awesome.
That might
That's a
be a good deal,
win-win.
right? Right. So think about it. I mean, if for at a 95% loan to value in round numbers, right, your house is worth 100, we could
Hmm.
do up to a $95,000 loan.
That's crazy. That's
No,
awesome.
yeah, and it's a great program, and
Hmm.
and a couple and we could do it on a purchase too. So if you have folks that are going to be, maybe selling some homes as is,
Hmm.
right, and
Hmm.
someone wants to buy it as a primary residence and renovate it,
Right.
again, we can do 95% financing.
That's Awesome.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
We've helped a lot of people in Kingwood and in Houston put together houses and help buy houses that were being sold as is. And then a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people walked in with some really, really great equity
Mm-hmm.
after they did the renovation. So if
Yeah.
you're not familiar with it, really basically in a nutshell, it's this, and I'm going to use some round numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes, please.
So let's say you're going to go buy a house and it's going to be $100,000 for the home as is.
Okay.
We can take up to $75,000 of that amount and roll that in as renovation. So you could do a loan up to
Okay.
$175,000 to renovate that house. And what I will tell you
Okay.
is, I think most contractors would tell you, depending on the size of the house, for
Mm-hmm.
$100,000, $75,000, you could probably do about everything you wanted to it.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So if someone came to you with a blank slate and said, "Hey, I've got $75,000 to do renovation, you guys could probably help them."
Yes. 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 We could.
And yeah, and what I will tell you is that the process is very simple. It's $100,000 renovation or $100,000 cost for the home.
Mm-hmm.
In the same loan, in the same purchase, in the same transaction, we would
Mm-hmm.
add the 75,000 to it. So again, in round numbers, we would have a total project cost of 175,000.
That's so cool. If you
Normal
find a
closing
house
cost
with the great
assistance.
bones and you want to renovate, this is definitely an option for you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And the 95% for primary residence purchase or refinances can be a game changer for people. It can get them enough money to get their house back where they wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it can get it can get someone in a house that really, really wanted to. You buy a fixer upper,
Right.
and we're always talking about flood, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just updates too, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you don't have to do a renovation loan, right? Just to do updates. We have other options. One thing I will tell folks is that renovation loans, they're a little bit more expensive to do, okay, because
Mm-hmm.
there are, yeah, depending on the amount, there are other people involved,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Contractors and things like that. We have
Yeah.
when Interlink holds on to the money after the renovation. So the great thing is about us is we don't ship you
Mhm.
to a third party to work with someone else during the renovation,
Okay.
right?
They stay with you.
So yeah, so Haley, let's just say you're the contractor and you're
Mhm.
ready to send in a bid request, right?
Mhm.
You wouldn't send it to me, but you would send it to Interlink.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we get to manage the process, and if someone has an issue, they certainly can call me, and people have, right?
Right.
They have an
Right.
issue or they have a question, they say, "Hey, Ashley, help me with this." We've got
Mhm.
myself and our renovation team that stays with them through the entire process.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
Yeah, right.
It's always good to have contacts where you're borrowing that you know.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. And the great thing is, as I live here in Kingwood, we're all right here together. So it's not like I'm going anywhere, right? It's not like you've
Right.
got to call somebody in Dallas or call somebody
Right.
in Austin or something like that to kind of talk to
Right.
someone to help you. You can always come to my office in the front of Kingwood and say, "Hey, I need to make an appointment to come see you," right?
That's awesome.
It's helpful. It can be helpful.
Yes. Yes. Definitely.
Um, So the renovation loan comes in two different pieces, right? So we
Mhm.
have the conventional part of it, which goes all the way up to the jumbo limits of 484,000.
Okay.
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 Now we also have the same renovation loan in FHA, the FHA product, which is
Okay.
a 203K.
Okay.
All right. So think of conventional as 5% down,
Mhm.
right? 203K is 3.5% down.
Okay.
Okay. And again, purchase or refinance.
Okay.
All
That's
right. It is a super. The FHA. There's a few minute differences between the two on
mhm.
what you can and you can't do on the K refinance and the
Mhm.
and the conventional refinance, but only slightly. Okay,
Okay.
really, the conventional refinance, when you think of it, it just allows you to do a renovation on a home that's more expensive without
Okay.
being strapped to the FHA loan limits of about 331 ish.
Okay. Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
So if they
Um,
were owning a home right now and they wanted to get a renovation loan, would it be interior only? Could they do exterior stuff too? Like could they put a pool in with something like that? Or is that a different product?
Yep, good question. So that's one of the key differences between the 203K and the
Oh,
renovation loan.
okay. Okay.
The conventional renovation loan does allow you to add a pool.
Okay.
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 The FHA product does not.
Okay.
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 Now, but the 203K product and the home renovate and the conventional product will allow you to do all interior, exterior renovations.
Okay.
It would allow you to tear the house down and rebuild if you wanted to. Okay, I'm not joking, not joking.
That's wild.
Yeah, so I mean the products are really versatile.
Okay.
And the 203K actually has two different variances of it. I won't get too specific.
Mhm. Mhm.
But one is what's called a streamline when you're doing less than 35,000.
Okay.
Okay, and any renovation above 35,000 falls into what we call, the full 203K, which requires HUD inspector and some of those things as well.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
But
And-
super products, it is the same as applying for any other mortgage,
Okay.
right? So
Okay.
the other caveats to it are making sure that we have time to make sure we have contractors out to the house, we get bids. Of course, we go through the process of vetting the contractors to make sure we have good quality people,
Awesome.
right? But we
That's
don't
great.
we don't pick your contractor. You pick your contractor, and as long as they're a real contractor,
Right.
okay, we are certainly really flexible on who does the work, as long as, right,
Mhm.
there's somebody who's in the business,
Right.
right?
That's great. That's great. It's great that y'all are looking out for it like that too. So,
Well, I agree. I agree. It's a great product. We've been using a lot of it. It came along right about the right time for Harvey, because we have not always done them, but it came right around the time for Harvey, so we could make sure that we help people. Um, Now let's talk about, maybe we said renovation loans are a little
hmm
bit more expensive. Okay, rates are
hmm
slightly higher. Let's call it maybe a half a point max, right?
Okay. Okay.
But let's just say that you wanted to go into a house that you wanted to purchase, and all you wanted to do was spend maybe $10,000 or $15,000,
hmm
maybe just changing countertops or flooring or
hmm
paint, right?
hmm
Let's just call it straight cosmetic work.
Okay.
No slab, no roof, no load-bearing walls, no adding rooms or anything like that. All right.
hmm
We have a what's called an escrow holdback program.
Okay.
All right. So again, let's just talk round numbers. You buy a house
hmm
for $100,000. You want to
hmm
do some changes to it, and you say maybe $10,000 or $15,000. What we can do is we can add that $115,000, okay, into the loan amount.
Okay.
You would put down the 5 or 3.5% on that number,
Okay.
okay, and we at that point we can roll those renovations in the escrow account,
Okay.
okay, without having to do a full renovation loan. All
Okay.
right. So
Okay.
it's regular rates. It's a just a
Okay.
regular quote unquote FHA or conventional
hmm
program. Okay. Now
hmm
there are definitely some limits that go along with it. That's why I say strictly cosmetic.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. And the other reason I bring that product up is we, there really is, you really need to be doing almost $50,000 worth of renovation. Okay. Or a project that would take well over 30 days to do.
Okay.
To really kind of have to be doing a renovation loan, because they are a little bit more expensive and a little bit more intricate, right?
hmm hmm
The only strict requirement of the escrow holdback program is that we're doing renovations that can be completed in 30 days or less.
Okay.
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 So a
hmm
lot of times that flooring or paint or some cabinetry or countertops, that stuff can be done pretty quick, especially if you have your contractors ready to go, which you would before we close,
Okay.
right?
Okay. hmm
So what I would tell your customers, if you find a house, like you said, it's got really great bones, all right?
hmm
And there's just
hmm
a few things that you want to change or update, but you don't want to necessarily spend the cash to do it. The
Okay.
escrow holdback program is a good way to go about that,
That is awesome. I like options.
right?
That's fantastic. Yeah, because you start seeing that as you get into some of the older homes that they haven't updated, maybe haven't updated the kitchen, or it's full of carpet and they want to put down, the nice wood floors or something like that. So it's a great option. Or a whole house repaint. That's the other thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can do again, as long as we're not, that escrow holdback program can be really great for
That's
just small
awesome.
items that you just didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to pay cash for. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other option that I'm seeing for people that want to do renovation
Mm-hmm.
is, and people are going to have to call me to wrap, maybe not so much wrap their brain around this, but to
Mm-hmm.
crunch the numbers, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I do have some people that say, "Hey, Ashley, I'm going to sell a house and I'm going to buy the next one. What products do you have where I could do maybe $10,000 or $15,000 of renovation?" Right. So I talk about the renovation program.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll talk about the escrow holdback program more specifically
Right.
for just, again, that $10,000, $20,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then again, a lot of people are choosing to put down, say, 10 or 15%.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be okay with a little bit of mortgage insurance and you have to be okay with an escrow account.
Okay.
Okay. And in lieu of putting 20% down, they're putting down 15% and they're paying cash for the renovation.
Okay.
Okay. Here's
Okay.
here's the benefit to it. Mortgage insurance at a 10 or 15% down payment is super cheap, relatively speaking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You get to finance the renovation by
Mm-hmm.
putting less money down, is really what you're doing, right? You're financing the renovation because you're holding on some money to pay cash,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing, and we're creating some additional tax benefit because you're going to have a little bit more interest that you pay to write off.
Yes.
So instead of going to Home Depot and getting a $15,000 credit card and that's
Mm-hmm.
no interest for 90 days and running that into 180 days and paying interest,
Right.
right? You get to roll it
Mm-hmm.
into your mortgage, negotiate with your contractors with cash, which is king when you're talking to contractors, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really have a great scenario. And what
Mm-hmm.
most people will say is, well, gosh, Ashley, if I'm not putting 20% down, I'm not getting the best interest rate. Believe me, I get that thought and that thought
Mm-hmm.
process. But what I
Mm-hmm.
will tell you is for people, for interest rates, for those who have good credit, we'll call it, not
Mm-hmm.
going to have to be great credit, but good credit.
Mm-hmm.
Almost the majority of the time, I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing better interest rates at a 10 or 15% down payment than I am at 20. Right? Now, most people wouldn't think that way, but here's the reason
Mm-hmm.
is the lenders are addicted, the lenders and more importantly, the investors, they're addicted to that mortgage insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Even that little bit of mortgage insurance on that loan
Mm-hmm.
makes them
They
feel
like it.
really good about it, right? They're saying, well, hey,
Right.
I'm protected. Hey, if they default, they're going to put 15%
Yeah.
down and pay
Yeah.
mortgage insurance, and then they default, I'm covered.
Right.
We're going to give somebody a great rate for that because we like that,
Mhm.
right?
Oh, I see. I see.
So they're
Interesting.
enticing them to do that maybe with a little bit better interest rate, even though they were
Mhm.
willing to put skin in the game,
Right.
right? So it kind of defies how you would logically think about how a mortgage would
Mm-hmm.
work. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I
Mm-hmm.
talk about it a lot because a lot of people just don't think of it that way.
Right.
Right.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to our team, or you can reach out to Ashley directly. You want to give them your phone number real quick?
Yeah,
Email?
guys. My office number is 281-978-4268. That's my office number. My cell is 832-661-4538. You can always reach us at ashleyvanmeter.com. But again, our offices are right here in Kingwood. We are a true local lender that does everything right here in this office. And we're a mortgage bank, which means we're not middlemen. We don't send your loan to anyone else to do. Everything starts and finishes right here in my office.
Awesome. Agents, if you're looking for a great lender, you need to that way, Ashley. Call Ashley. He's fantastic. He takes such great care of our clients. We appreciate it. Thanks so much for your time. Again, if you guys have any questions, reach out to us. We will put you in contact with Ashley. He can answer any of those loan questions. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys. Thanks,
Bye.
Haley.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye-bye.